3 years ago, I sat in this same exact spot showing you guys my full sneaker collection with over 20 plus pairs. Now today, things have changed and I'm going to tell you guys why exactly I sold my sneaker collection in 2026. So before I can explain why I sold my sneaker collection, we first have to start back in 2020.
Culture Chicago 7, man, we out here. We're about to be vlogging around, so stay tuned, man.
This is around when COVID hit. Obviously a lot of things changed in everyone's lives, not just mine. But around this time in 2020, I just fell in love with watching shoe restoration videos, such as watching Reshoevn8r, Vic Almighty. I just fell in love with the passion for it, and I eventually started cleaning shoes and flipping them. So I'd buy shoes online, on Mercari, flea market, anywhere I could find beat up shoes, I'd restore them, sell them and make some quick profit. And that's kind of where it started for me, where I really fell in love with sneakers. Now I've always had Jordans since I was a kid. I believe when I was a baby, I had Jordans too. My brother did, and you know, Jordans are just always running the family, and it's more than just shoes that you wear. It's memories. You know, like Jordans were hot back then, you know, and they still are today. So is Nike and all these other big brands. So around this time back in 2021, I started doing vlogs at sneaker events, and that's when I started to build up my collection a little bit too. So I started getting a lot of Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s, and Jordan 11s. Those are my top 3 favorite Jordans, especially Jordan 1s. I had a lot of Jordan 1s back in the day, but I just really love the colorways of Jordan 1s. They had so many varieties of colors. Any color you could think of, they had it. Jordan 4s were starting to pick up. They're starting to become really popular, and resale value for Jordan 4s were going crazy back in the day, and even way before Jordan 4s became popular. That was actually my first real Jordan that I can actually remember getting. I remember being in about 4th or 5th grade, and every year my parents would take me to get some new shoes for the school year at Nike outlets, and I remember coming across the Jordan 4 Motorsports, the all black pair with the little hints of blue, and when I saw those, man, I fell in love with them. I'm surprised I actually found them at the Nike outlets back in the day. Yeah, I was like in 4th or 5th grade, and I'd seen them right away, and those were one of the first pair of Jordans that I remember getting as a kid. And it's just crazy to look back at those times, you know, because those shoes just bring a lot of memory to me, you know. And flash forward to now, I have about 2 pairs of Jordans in my collection. I know it sounds crazy. I used to have about 20 pairs of Jordans. The more I got older, the more I started valuing more comfortable shoes and more everyday wear. I still have the love for Jordans, don't get me wrong, but I've always just looked at them as something kind of hard to wear nowadays. Whereas back in the day, it used to be so easy to wear them, but now it's just like my style kind of switched up. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I still rock my Jordan 1 Lost and Founds from time to time, and it's always nice busting them out the closet because I know they've been collecting some dust, and it's always good to just feel like I'm a kid again, you know, rocking Jordans every day. Ever since I got into the shoe game, it's brought me so much memories and just a lot of fun times, you know, going to sneaker events with my boy Diego Kicks. And one memory I'll never forget is always waking up early, checking the Nike sneakers app to see what new drops were coming out, and just looking at exclusive shoes online. It was so exciting. I still remember to this day when my mom hit on the Nike Tiffany Air Force Ones. I told her to go on the sneakers app while she was at work, and she all of a sudden hit. I think they're like $1,000 right now, and she got them for retail on the Nike sneakers app. Funny story about those, I actually brought those to a sneaker event to Gotso in Chicago. It was a big sneaker event at the time, so I brought them there with my intentions to resell them, and this guy wanted to buy them off me, so we ended up doing a coin flip. I think we did like 800 or 870 coin flip. I ended up losing, but you know, I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. What's even crazier is that my pair ended up going to Kais Omar. So the guy that bought my shoes off of me that we did the coin flip for, he ended up selling that pair to Kais Omar. And if you guys don't know who that is, he's a big sneakerhead YouTuber, and I've been watching him since I was a kid. It just felt so real to meet him. It's a small world, and I'm just super happy I got to have that moment and meet Kais Omar. I think he sold his pair, I ain't gonna lie. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, not everyone could say that they sold the shoe to him, but I actually ended up recording the whole thing. So if you guys want to see that video, I'll probably pin it up right here. You guys can go check it out. So one of the main reasons why I did sell my sneaker collection was because of money. Now around this time in like 2023, flash forward a few years, money was kind of tough. You know, it's hard being an entrepreneur when you don't have consistent income from a job. So I wasn't really wearing my Jordans at the time, so I just decided to sell 1 pair, and then next you know, I'm selling 3 or 4 pairs, and then my collection just starts to die down a little bit. And you know, it kind of sucks, but at the same time it had to happen because I wasn't really wearing them, and I'd rather sell my shoes to somebody who would wear them. And I'm glad the shoes that I once owned are being worn today, hopefully. And yeah, I mean, I had no use of them anymore, and there's no hate to Jordan or Nike or anything. It's just like I just got tired of rocking Jordans. I'll always have that love and passion in my heart for Jordans to the day I die. So right here I actually have my Jordan 1 Royal Blues. Now these are OGs from back in the day, and I still have these in my collection. I don't wear them anymore. These are one of the Jordans that still stay in my collection to this day. I probably never get rid of them. I ended up buying these off my friend from back in the day. He gave me like a whole trash bag full of shoes, and these were in there, and I just fell in love with them. But you guys know the story behind these, and so I don't know if you guys could see that, but I ended up drawing on the label tag. I put NJ Nestor Jr., that's my name. I wanted to make them feel a little bit special and keep them in my collection forever. You know, I never wanted to sell them since these were one of the first pair of Jordans that I ever got too. You know, there's a few shoes in my collection that I'll never get rid of, but you know, the rest had to go. I didn't really rock them as much. It did hurt selling them, but you know, you get over it as you grow older. So another reason why I did sell my full sneaker collection was because of comfort. Now, most Jordans I had were not comfortable. The Jordan 1s, the Jordan 4s, they were at times, but you just had to break into them. And I just started wearing slides more, you know. I started wearing my Crocs, my Birkenstocks a lot more than shoes, and also because they were easier to just put on my feet and just walk out the house with them. I also picked up running, and I started going to the gym a little bit more too, so I got some running shoes, and now I keep shoes in my collection that I'm actually going to use and wear on an everyday basis. But at the end of the day, sneakers are not just for show or just for wearing. They tell stories, and they allow you to be creative and represent who you are as a person. I still remember days going to the flea market as a kid, waking up early reselling shoes with my dad and my cousin, and those type of memories I'll never forget. And shoes allowed me to feel that moment. You know, it sounds kind of crazy, but you know, it's true. And there's memories and moments that I'll never forget, and that's all because Jordans existed, and I'm so thankful that they do. But overall, I feel the more I keep getting older, the more I keep maturing and just wanting to rock different types of shoes. Who knows, maybe in the future I'll get back into sneaker collecting again, but right now I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. So with all that being said, that is why I sold my sneaker collection. I would also like to know what you guys' thoughts is on Jordans in 2026. Do you guys rock them? Do you guys not? Drop a comment down below and I'll respond back to you guys. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.